His Excellency, the President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, is not Uganda's problem. Museveni is not Uganda's problem. But Uganda's problem is the failed system. Okay. I've been thinking about this long and hard. And why I just have to make this video is that one of the elders that we consider in Africa, that is Joshua Maponga, was able to say it eloquently that Museveni is not Uganda's problem. Okay, let's debate this out. And of course, if you're going to use your brain, then you can comment in this video. But if you're not going to use your brain, you better not even comment. Even if you have commented, it might go in thin air. But let's just talk this out. For any government to function efficiently well, it has three arms. The state, headed by the president, of course, and then the parliament, and then the judiciary. They have to work all together to see that issues of governance is put right on check and everything is functioning well. It covers everything. Is Parliament in Uganda doing its work? Are the judiciary doing their work? Judiciary have done in the recent ruling that court-martial is not supposed to try civilians. You know? Have they implemented that? That's a food for thought for you. Is Parliament doing its work? Okay, let's say they're doing their work. Was it not in Parliament that the corruption scandal happened? And it's going in thin air. That the commissioners were involved, but it's going in thin air. Have they not been called clowns? Have they not been accused of corruption? Not once, not twice. By the president and even his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Okay, what we are going to debate here is that for any functional government to work very well, let's have the three arms of government working and doing their best without the interference of another. If the parliament they have enacted a law, you know, they have put through a bill, becomes a law, and then it's doing, people are following it up and everybody is okay with it, that's fine. And the judiciary have said this and that has to be, you know, the laws that the parliament has made, you know, the judiciary are putting it right in check that, you know what, they are the VAR of that field. They are putting right, the laws should be functioning. And state should as well be in alignment with all this. So now that is a question for all of you to ask and answer for yourself if it is happening in Uganda. The army is, by the way, they look at our national territory. Are they doing their work? Are they involved in our politics of the country? Recently, you saw PLU, Patriotic League Uganda, headed by the first son, that is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. They put up a protest against the MPs who are always speaking out the truth and facts. And what happens is they did not reach parliament. And that was even fair enough, because if they reach parliament, then it would contradict his statement of calling them clowns and they are not doing anything. And in fact, he's going to even go after them. And what happens is, like, the protest did not reach there. But of course, you saw it, how peaceful it was. And the police had to do their work and they protected them very well. Just like any other person who is protesting, they should have put them on check. They should have been able to guide every other protest very well so that they can, you know, carry on what they have to do, because it's allowed by, you know, the law, freedom of speech, freedom of association. And then if there is anything which you do not agree with, you can protest. And you have to be protected by the state of course, you have to give them prior information, which informs the police, and then they provide for you the necessary security. So, when Joshua Maponga says President Yoweri Museveni is not Uganda's problem, here is what I would definitely disagree with him on. That he is in charge of the state, right? He's the one implementing things. He's the one that is calling out and picking up people and directing them to do their work. Of course, if you have appointed them, like you're playing in a football field, you are the referee and you have the card, and you are this, at the same time you are a player. And then in any case, somebody kicks your leg, you have to pull the, the red card or yellow card and warn them. And then they have to play carefully, because if they attack you badly, you will definitely fall them. So this is where I would definitely disagree with him. Of course, disagreeing with him doesn't lose the respect that I have for him. And the truth is, he plays a big role. And even leaving all this alone, that I would want to leave it for you for food for thought, right? But for me, I would definitely disagree that he is part of the problem for Uganda not to be where they ought to be. But also credit needs to be given where it is due. Let us appreciate him for the good work that he's done. Prior to his coming, the governments that we had before were always being changed here, left, right, center. Not a few. Others took only a few months. Others took 1-2 years, and they were changing all the time. But consistently, you've seen how President Yoweri Museveni has maintained the country under his watch for close to 40 years, which you would definitely want to give credit to him. I don't know how he has done it, but he has done it. And somehow, somewhere, if you would want to disagree that we are not a little bit at peace, then I would definitely disagree with you. There is a bit of that peace. Not that much, but yes, that peace where we are not able to see government being toppled over or thrown out or fought over. And then we have seen, of course, elections after elections, rigged or not. That's a discussion for you to, check out, because almost every elections were in court. And of course, others, they alluded, and others, they agreed to the fact that they were, foul played and all that. That is for you. But again, let's give credit where it's due. The achievements that they have done, of course, is very minimal compared to what they could have done. Looking at Traore Ibrahim in recent times in Burkina Faso, you've seen in less than 5 years, he has been able to, buy about close to 400 tractors, and they're doing wonderful work. Wheat is being produced, without borrowing a dime from nowhere. They are doing it for their people. He wants to resign. The people are saying, no, we don't want you to go. You have to be there. So that is something that you could see in recent times. Leave alone those people who fought there. I don't want to go deep down history to talk about Nelson Mandela, talk about Thomas Sankara, and the rest. But let's look at these recent times. Within less than 5 years, things are happening in Burkina Faso. Vehicles are being made there. Not batteries getting from somewhere or assembling, but they are making it in Burkina Faso. So how much more can somebody do in 40 years if they mean well for the country? Well, that is, up to all of us to, throw in our suggestions or discussions or issues or opinions, whatever it is. But I want to disagree entirely with Joshua that indeed is part of the problem that Uganda finds itself in the space where it finds itself right now, because he is at the forefront. If he's supposed to be fighting corruption, he is the one who is supposed to put this in check, and all the people who have been faulted of corruption, they should be behind bars, and then there's no negotiation about it. But of course, the regime thrives on that. And so what else do you want? So at the end of the day, it is all for us to watch and see. The judiciary is saying this, and then they're saying, no, I don't think it's right. No. That's not the work for a state or a statesman. No. Yours is supposed to be doing your part, and then the judiciary does its part, the parliament does its part, and you do not interfere with any